Welcome back to the Product Marketing Podcast. I'm here with Billy, our head of product.
Happy to be here once again.
2026, baby. All right, so here's the monthly update. Let's start with Scan-to-Receive. All right, so now in Luminous, we had already added the ability to scan when you receive products. Okay, so now the ability that we added is now we take into account cartons, basically unit of measure that you have set up tied to the SKU. We'll now consider different unit of conversions. Really all this comes down to is like if you have cartons set up or sleeves or however you have it set up, if you scan the barcode that's tied to like a 10-pack, it will receive a 10-pack. So just expansion on Scan-to-Receive to make it a little bit more viable.
All right, next we have added several new columns or new fields that you can see different counts on your products for different types of scenarios. Give you a couple examples. First of all, we have available via assembly. So essentially, if you assemble products or you do some sort of manufacturing, not only can you see how many you have in stock, but you can also see how many you could make based on the component quantities you have available. And so that is available via assembly, so you know what could be made. And related to that, we also added available via recovery in disassembly. Quantity recoverable via disassembly is when you need to get a product out of another pack. So it's not the finished good, but it's the opposite. You're going to break down a pack or a product of some sort to get a good. And that's often the case where it's shipped and maintained in wholesale packs and you need to get it out of that. So you can see how many you could recover from your wholesale packs and other like bundles that you might have. Along with it, we've added quantity outstanding, which is essentially all outstanding sales that have not been fulfilled, whether it be back ordered or pending. So you can see that number a little easier and really give you a broader strokes view of your stock situation, especially in those more complicated scenarios where you're doing a lot of things with back orders, assemblies, wholesale plus retail, and all of that together, and you get a lot more insight on that.
Okay, next is we've expanded our automation around fulfillment orders. This kind of has to do with order routing and other things. So one of the updates is for customers who Luminous pulls in sales orders from all of the different channels. They do in-house fulfillment. So let's say at the end of the pick and pack process in Luminous, it gets released to ShipStation. So we added an extra trigger with pick state. So the use case is somebody uses Luminous's pick and pack app. We pull in all the sales orders, we generate fulfillment orders, that goes to pick and pack, and only once the pick status is complete, it releases to ShipStation so you can print out the label. So just more robust releases to a different OMS.
Next, we've enhanced the ability to import your FIFO cost layer. So instead of having a single value for unit cost, you can actually import the different layered costs that you might be saved from another system or when you're being onboarded or other things like that. So it makes it a lot easier to get the actual quantity and cost of each FIFO batch in your import and get things set up correctly. So that has now been added.
Okay, so the next one, which has been a big one for all the internal non-technical team members, is we've expanded automations in a massive way. Not only did we revamp the entire UI of this, but here's a couple of the updates. So we expanded a lot of the logic around just the triggers that you can even use. So it used to be that we only serviced a couple of triggers. Now we almost service almost every single trigger available in Luminous. That will continue to expand. I think the coolest part is this AI generate feature. If you just type in normal language, what you're trying to build in the automation. So if I'm saying when an order is created, tag that order as custom order. So AI will just read this and it will configure this. It normally gets it about 90% of the way there. For basic automations, it'll get 100%. So boom, AI just configured this. So you can save this and you can actually go and test it as well. So you just put in the model type. So the trigger that you're testing, for example, if it's a sales order number that you're testing, put in the order number, the event name, trigger the test, and it'll tell you if it's failing, why it's failing, if it's even working. So massive expansion there.
And finally, we have just further expansion to our API, which continues to get more and more robust. So if you are doing any custom integrations, it's no easier than now to do that. So we've added the ability to create BOMs via the API, ability to create new purchase orders via API, and of course, manipulate purchase orders via those same calls and be able to do so much more. So it really allows a lot of other tools to work very closely with Luminous, as well as even custom small tools, whether it be through AI-generated apps and other things that have become a really big deal, and we'll continue to service that as we can.
That's everything, guys. We'll see you next month. Peace.